One, two, one, two. Hello everyone, this is Sado here. After a bit of a break, I'm back to maybe show some games, talk a bit. We'll see what happens today. Um, after last tournament, I wanted to take a bit of a break because there was quite a lot of streaming at the start of this year, and I wanted to just have some more time to do nothing, which is exactly the kind of thing that I liked doing the most. uh, so yeah, maybe you guys have some stuff you want to talk about. I can see already first person trying to ask about something. Okay, maybe let's. Yeah, I'll leave this topic for a while. Uh, I don't know why you're asking me. Yeah, I don't know why you're asking me about that because I didn't do anything here. So please ask comics. Uh, anyway, it's nice to be back, and the plan for today is to talk about some stuff that is happening in the community. For example, what's happening in the beta and some new maps and the tournaments, stuff like this. And then maybe if there's some lobby that I can show, then I'll stream some game. I guess I have to start with what we finished with, and that would be the tournament. The tournament is over, and uh, we showed most of the games there along with Dobby. I'd like to thank him for all the effort that he put here, because I really wouldn't be able to do it without him. And everyone knows what happened later. I don't really want to touch that topic. We had a bit of a fight among a few people on TeamSpeak. Uh, about this topic, I would only want to say that I'd like to apologize to the entire community for the stuff that I didn't do well. Probably mainly the fact that I didn't react fast enough on TeamSpeak as the admin, because I think I really screwed up there, and if my reaction was a bit better there, I guess many of the things that happened could be avoided. And the second thing, and I really don't know why I did that, but I think that I really should have handled the final issue a bit different way, because I was pretty sure that if Zdobby is going to stream the final game, there would be a problem for Mexi. So I should have probably talked with both of them before the game and try to resolve the issue in a way that doesn't make the entire community be a victim of what was happening there. But instead, I just silently waited until the game, and I wanted to put everyone in a bit of a situation where I'm saying, okay, Zdobby is going to stream, so I think I really failed very much here, and I'd like to apologize for that. And as for the other stuff, I'll just say that uh, I think everyone has their own opinion by now on what happened here, so I don't really want to continue talking about it. But I also think that if I try to explain myself or say who did something wrong or bad or good, it's gonna hurt the community even more. There's a bit of a divide right now, but I think I didn't want these advertisements here, but whatever. Let's just hide it for a while. Anyway, I'd like to. I wanted to say this because the last stream resulted in a bit of a situation where there was supposed to be a game streamed in English, and thanks to my actions, it didn't happen. So I think that some kind of explanation was really needed. Okay, the advertisements are gone. So as for the tournament results, Mexican team at Coaches 12 won the tournament in the final game against Bullet and Boss. And the third place game, Trash and Vanilla Soup won over Mickey and Regis. I think I can say that there was not that many surprises. Oh, come on with these advertisements, so annoying. Okay, I'm too stupid to fix this. Anyway, how do I do this? Okay, I'm really sorry. I should have thought about this before. Let me see what I can do. Okay, so this is what I want to show, and this is what I want to do. Yeah, this is better. Okay, now I can continue without being distracted, even if it's a bit off. But anyway, yeah, we had Maxi and John Rambo or Coaches 12 winning, which was pretty much expected, and also Bullet Boss was probably the favorites. They were the favorites in this in this part of the ladder. I also think it was pretty expected for Mickey and Regis to advance to the semifinals. Maybe some people were giving some chances to Soko and Botso, but I think Botso wasn't his best shape these days, and that's how it happened. As for Trash and Battle Soup, I think they were the biggest surprise of the tournament. They played pretty well. There was a lot of camping involved, obviously, but that's another topic. Yeah, and yeah, I don't want to order any food, but thank you for the advice. I really hate advertisements, and I also think that if anyone from Twitch or YouTube staff was watching my stream, and I really doubt it will ever happen, but then they wouldn't be very happy about these advertisements. So I don't want to make any problems, even if the problems will never exist. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, as for my performance in the tournament, I'd rather not say too much about anything, especially my second game there. But that's not why I'm here. Um yeah, anyway, it's nice that it's over. I'm a bit negatively surprised that we still had some issues because of the tournament. I would rather see in the future that tournaments don't result in such issues, because I really wanted the tournaments to result in more fun for the community, something that finally starts happening. We're all in the middle of a pandemic, and it's like many of us, especially myself, as you probably figured out, I'm pretty much living Knights and Merchants full time these days. So, everyone is looking for something to do when there's
Hey,
nothing to
wake up.
do. And I really should silence this shit. Anyway, my point is that I really I would really like to see that tournaments turn out with something positive, and that's something we've been failing on since some time. Last year, we also had similar issues, some trolling. We all know what we're talking about. So, uh, yeah. Uh, I really hope that we can avoid stuff like this in the future and just try to, fight against each other. There's always gonna be a bit of a rivalry amongst the teams, among the clans, but let's try to keep it civil, and
Hey, wake
that's what
up.
I hope to see. Anyway, people really love to write to me right now. I have no idea why. Anyway, let's move on to another topic. Speaking of the tournaments, we also have 2 versus 2 league going on right now, managed by Kungen and Zatora. I'd like to say big thanks to them for doing this because I know there's a lot of work there, and people are talking to them about this all the time, so it's a bit of a side job, I guess, for them. So thanks for this, and if you don't have anything better to do, you can sign up at kamleague.com and you can play 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 1 league, whatever you like. Yeah. Um, I'd like to show you some new maps today. Actually, one new map and one refreshed map. I also want to talk about a bit about the progress in Knights and Merchants beta version. Perhaps I will. Okay, I'll disable this for now. So anyway, let's start with one map that is being refreshed. It's a bit of a strange pick. I know that. People will be a bit surprised I'm showing this on the stream, but I think it's still something interesting, even if a bit controversial. There's a new map update from a pretty well-known guy in this community. It's called Center Castle. Some of you might know this map, and I probably should do something because right now you can't even see this. Hold on for a second. There we go. Okay, so some of you might be familiar with the map called Center Castle Looting. It's in the remake, and there's a new version of it. As you can see on the minimap, there's some changes. For example, the description is way shorter right now. I have no idea why it was removed, but that's beyond the point. And apart from Parker, who is probably most responsible for this, although I also think that Woloszek and Luki had a lot of stuff done here by themselves. They're also pretty good map makers. I especially loved Woloszek's style on some of his fight maps, for example. But anyway, there's a new version of this map. We can take a look at it. So yeah, I think I will be honest that there's some areas for improvement here, I believe. For example, I think that the mountains are pretty nice actually, but maybe a bit more detail in the terrain wouldn't hurt. Like for example, you can see any objects on this location here, and yeah, I think it could be done a bit better. Still, judging from how the previous version looked like, I think this is an improvement for the gameplay, for example, and it can be interesting to try this out. Maybe we can try this out on TeamSpeak, although some of the entrances here might be a bit too hardcore. Like you can see, this is a pretty closed map, so it can be tough. But on the other hand, maps like Fallen Fruits can also be played, so I think it's not unplayable. I would actually like to try this out. I'm not even joking. In a 60 peacetime lobby. It's kind of a new version of Boulder Reverse, remade by Parker team. You might see some similarities to the old Battlefield there, but yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff we don't hear, for better or worse. So yeah, that's how it looks like. It would be good if in Dual League one participant player can't be into different teams. It's good and bad, I guess. I mean, it certainly it enables people to make teams that they would never think about doing before. For example, very good player and very bad player. Yeah, because the problem with 2v2 League is that if you get two players that are really good in this game, then they're just gonna win everything. But now it's at least possible to such players to make a one team when they have a very good teammate and one team when they have someone that they can just play for fun, you know. So I think it's not too bad, but feel free to tell me why you think it's a bad idea, because I'd love to hear some feedback on this. Why do you think that there should be like one participant per one team? Um, anyway, that's about the first map. I'd like to show you a completely new map from Harry as well. It's called Toxic Waters. I have no idea why, but it looks pretty strange on the minimap, and the first impression you're gonna get is that it's pretty strange, pretty closed, but I don't think it's the case. It's pretty big, so in the editor looks a bit strange. I think I might show you a bit of a replay on of the first game we played here. It wasn't the best game because actually it was pretty short, but you'll be able to see how the cities can look like, how the armies can look like, and it will probably give you a better impression of how the front line will be looking like. Anyway, it seems like there's an Easter egg here from LT and a lot of wolves. Pretty typical for Harry. And how this map works, we've got one location in this corner, and in the opposite corner another location. I think this is a bit of a setup similar to Richland, and I think this was actually the main idea behind this map, that it should be a bit newer version of the old popular classic. It's still a bit different because you don't have ladder locks, for example. You still have a location here, for example, and probably one of these, yeah, this lock, where the iron is pretty far away. So it kind of reminds me of the locations on Richland. But I'm kind of bummed that there's no ladder lock here, because it was pretty fun to play this, especially for worse players. You know, there's a bit less, what do you call it? A bit less pressure, you know, when you're playing a lock like this. So it was kind of perfect for guys like me. But yeah, so yeah, it seems a bit more spammy when it comes to iron than Richland. But I think it's also a bit bigger in the middle. It's supposed to be played left versus right. So the main front is here. It's way more open than the old map, than the Richland. So it's a bit different, but the setup is pretty similar. And actually, from what I can tell, because I was playing here on this lock, if I remember correctly, the battlefield works pretty similarly. Yeah, lots of wolves. If the game will lag, then we will know why. Yeah, I gotta tell you that having a lot of wolves on one map was tested by us very recently on April Fool's game, and let me just say that you can have thousands of wolves and it doesn't slow down the game too much, so it's not too bad. It slows down the cities, that's for sure, but yeah, I might actually show that later on. We had some nasty idea. I did some nasty scripting, but yeah, we had a strange game on April Fools. But anyway, I guess if you want to download this map, if someone's interested, I could put up a lobby later. But it's a new map made by Harry, so you can also pester him for a download if you want to play it. Personally, I've heard a lot of bad impressions when people saw it, but I think you need to play it to understand how it works. I think the impressions might have been a bit similar with Richland, you know, because it looks unplayable at the first sight when you don't know how the map works like. Anyway, okay, that's about Toxic Waters. I think I might also show a replay later on, unless there's a game that I can show. Okay, let's see what else I had on the list. We're actually in the beta, and there's some stuff I would like to tell you about the upcoming beta version. Let me pop up. Yeah, so this is probably not going to be that interesting to some people who don't know much about programming, but that's not what I wanted to show, damn it. Okay, I'm failing as usual. There we go. Okay, so you can see on this website you can see the activity in the upcoming version of the remake, and you can see there's a lot of activity from Ray, also from some other guys, and that's what I'd like to talk about as well. Show you one, or actually, a few new features for the map makers made by King Diron and Ray. But as you can see, there's a lot of activity recently in March, and I actually, for the first time since a very long time, I'm actually pretty confident that there's a big chance we'll get a working new version of Knights of Merchants Remake this year. If I said it before, I was lying. But yeah, I think right now we're in a moment where there's a pretty nice chance we're gonna get another beta version, maybe later some release candidate version. We'll see. I don't know what's exactly the plan, because that's up to Ray, but it starts looking way better. In the current beta version, we already have only one major issue regarding one major issue with the gameplay that can crash the game, you know. So it's already fixed, and lots of small stuff is fixed as well. So, like I said, I'm pretty confident the beta will be ready in some time. And speaking of what happens in beta, there's a bit of a new thingy for the map makers that I think every map maker is going to love this. Basically, object brushes. To those that don't know, right now, if you want to make a new map, for example, you make some terrain, you make some, I don't know, some elevation, and then you want to place the objects. So right now, you have to pick the object from the list or from the palette, as this is a new feature in the new version. You have to look for it on this list, and you have to choose it manually. You have to keep thinking where to put what on the map. And you need to do this for the entire map. Sounds exhausting, right? But King Daron added a new really nice feature called Object Brush. As you probably imagine, it works like this. Why doesn't it work? I have no idea. Okay. I need to enable something on the list. Okay, so you can see it's started placing stuff like bushes, some dead trees. Might be still a bit back, because I don't think it should be placing some stones. Okay. This means all objects except trees. Interesting. Okay, so let's place some stones. Yeah, it works with the stones now. If we decide there's too many of them, we can do it like this, and there's almost none. But we can also do this, and we're gonna have a lot of stones, right? So this is pretty nice. Let's try to enable everything. And there you go. Of course, there's a lot of objects. There's way too many now. So let's go down a bit. Yeah, and doing something like this, you can paint all over the map without even thinking. You can disable the trees, for example, and then you can do this, and the map is kind of ready when it comes to objects. You can disable stones, for example, maybe this as well, because it's making some stones, and now you can paint without making these big stones, which make people unable to walk on them. So yeah, this is a pretty nice feature for the map makers. It will make the time needed to make a new map way shorter. So this is pretty neat. And one small nice thing about it is that you can actually set terrain object here. Let's change it here to bigger density so you can see what's happening. And then you can paint with this, for example, and the objects will appear automatically when this option is set. So you can just paint all over after you choose lower density, and the objects will be automatically placed. You don't have to think about it. So are the objects span terrain based? Hold on for a second. I mean, cactus only desert tiles. Yeah, that's actually another thing I was about to talk about, because let's take some place where there's nothing. As you can see, when I choose different kinds of terrain, I'm gonna get different kinds of stuff. For example, you can see that on the desert, you're getting cacti, you're getting this kind of whatever this is, some kind of bushes or whatever, some kind of plant, desert plant, yeah. And the other kinds are getting what fits to them. I probably have to enable the trees for you to imagine what this actually means. You can also put some trees. Maybe let's disable this for a while and do something like this, this. That's not enough of this, and this, and this. And take a look what happens now when I disable everything except for the trees. Density, yeah, let's go. So nothing is planted on sand. And the trees kind of fit, you know. Okay, there's no trees on the desert, but I chose the wrong kind of desert. I can also choose the dirt, because this is pretty nice for this. And I can, yeah, you can see that dirt gets different kind of trees. I think there should still be some fixes here. For example, I think these trees should happen more often here, but they're actually pretty often. Yeah, you can see this. Yeah, I also don't think these kind of trees should be allowed on the dirt, but they don't look that bad. But it's like, you know, I think this is a bug, so this can still be fixed. But otherwise, as you can see, there's a whatever, no matter which terrain you use, you will get automatically the objects that fit there. So it's really just as simple as painting all over the map, right? Okay, there's one more feature which was recently made a bit better. So, okay, maybe no self-advertising. Let's pick some random map. But maybe something with grass, maybe golden cliffs would be okay. I'll fix the terrain brushes first, and tile overlays, by the way, this is just, you can just put these unfinished roads, for example, or even finished on the map. This is not a big deal, but copy paste is pretty interesting. It's going to be improved even more, but right now it works like this. You can copy, and then you can paste, apply. Okay, it's nothing unusual, right? But when I choose only terrain from copied area, then the elevation, as you could see, didn't change, only the terrain changed. Now let's try to paste elevation, and only elevation changes. We can also do the same thing with pasting the objects only. See, only the trees are copied, and terrain overlays. Yeah, so that's this thingy. So you can actually choose what kind of stuff you're copy pasting here, right? It would be pretty nice if it was also possible to copy paste buildings, but I guess this is just an idea for the future. Yeah, so that's the improvements, the newest improvements in the map editor. I'm guessing this is mainly interesting to the map makers, but still, it shows you how we still have new people who start doing some stuff with their remake code, and I think this is really good, because I was really surprised when King Diron and the other Polish guy called Gelwe or Gelwi, not sure how to pronounce this properly in English, but never mind. These two guys started just adding some stuff to the remake, you know, just like as a hobby, and I was really surprised. And I'm really hoping this means that we're gonna get a bit more programmers who can offload the work from Ray a bit, because right now it's a one-man job more or less. I'm also trying to help a bit wherever I can, but I'm not really the best programmer, so you know I can't do too much. I can fix some small stuff probably, but the remake code is a bit complicated. But if we have some programmers out here who would like to take a look at the remake code, just get in touch with me, and I will be able to help you a bit, even if you don't know anything about Delphi or how to set it up. So that's not a problem. Okay. Anyway, I think that's most of the stuff I wanted to talk about. I'm really hoping that we can get some game on the beta soon. Now that's the moment when I want to check out if we have some lobbies. There's a game in progress here, but it's full. Okay, it seems like I'm out of luck. Okay, but I promised to show you a bit of a replay from April Fool's map. So there we go. Let's take a short look. So basically, the idea of this map was that nobody is supposed to make swords and in result swordsmen and knights. And I also added a little twist without telling the players what happens. But as you can see, they figure out pretty much straight away. Basically, placing a beacon resulted in spawning a wolf on the map. So as you will be able to see pretty soon, lots of strange stuff happened here. The strangest thing about this, from programming perspective, it surprised me a bit, was that it was allowed for spectators to trigger this. So for example, when a spectator placed a beacon, then the wolf also appeared. I had no idea that it's possible for spectators to actually influence the game like this, but yeah, I guess it can happen. Anyway, we could make this a bit faster. As you can see, there's a lot of wolves. Pretty interesting thing is how when there's a lot more buildings on the map, you will be able to see that these wolves were pretty annoying sometimes. We still need a bit more buildings, I guess. This is a kind of a good example. I can't say there are any traffic jams because of the walls, but you can see that they're not helping. I would like to skip until peacetime, unless we see something. Yeah, you could see there's a bit of a traffic jam caused by the wolves here. Anyway, just wanted to show a bit of the fight that happened after peacetime. Starts lagging out a bit, but with X50 speed you gotta expect that, I guess. If you guys have any ideas what can we do in 1 year playing the next April Fool's game, then I'd be glad to hear it. Okay. And the funniest thing of this is the fact that despite that everyone should know that it's impossible to make swordmen and knights, only 3 players in this game didn't do this. You can see Banation made pretty much exclusively swordmen and knights as his infantry. You can see actually Skelly didn't make them. So that's one guy who reads the map description. Second guy is Bullet. Yeah, Dima didn't really do as well. You can see militia spawn from Donati. You can also see, yeah, W33 had some salts, but well, it's pretty strange base, by the way. But I think I know the reason why this base wasn't working so well. Just look at this. There are walls all over the streets. I think Skeleton might have had similar problems. It's just that these walls, after some time, there was so many walls and there was way less space that they kind of got enclosed in these cities and started making problems to the serfs traffic. Anyway, yeah, Thunder, maybe, but it would be a bit too hardcore, you know. It was way funnier when some people realized on peacetime that they are unable to make any troops. Yeah, that's the winner here. Botso didn't make any other troops than horses, so he tried to horse rush on this map, and he let's say that he had a bit of a problem with that. Anyway, it's already peacetime, so we can take a look at a bit of the fight here. As you can see, right now the only units fighting there are the wolves fighting for the space, but after a bit of time, I guess we'll see some troops on the battlefield. There was one more feature. So, like I said before, when you place a beacon, then a wolf will be spawned. But what players found out after peacetime was that when they place a beacon after peacetime, when they have some troops trained, then all the troops that can storm attack will start storm attacking. So the idea was that when people will try to use the wolves in fight, like, you know, spamming like this with their beacons, then they will suddenly notice all of their troops are storming, and that could be pretty funny. The problem, though, was that there were so many wolves on the map that it was impossible to storm anyway, so that one kind of backfired in this game. But yeah, other than that, it was still pretty funny to see how people were trying to fight in the middle of these wolves. So let's see what happens here. On the left side we have Bada and Dima trying to get some position against Donati. One side effect of this wolf overdose on this map is that Mitrella's and Donati's armies didn't really count for much, because militia is not really effective when it can be stopped by wolves in one spot, and then they can just be shot out, you know, as you can probably see here. Anyway, there's a bit of a fight here already. You can see Skelly called Mitrelas, and I'm really not sure to whom it was worse. Bullet, I think Bullet storm attacked here unintentionally when he used the beacon. You can see the other team's troops are pretty far away, but W33 is trying to help a bit along with Bozo, who finally has some troops. So somehow Michaela managed to keep for a really long time here, long enough for Donato to be able to help. And now W33 will probably kill Bullet's army without much problem. Although you can also see that Dima is getting attacked by Donati here, and it's really hard to attack this moment with militia. I think this script would work better if I put some more thought into it and, for example, killed off bows that were trying to shoot militias, because this is just imba, you know. Because April Fool's common tactic is to make a lot of militia, so without really thinking about this, I kind of destroyed it. So you can see that, speaking about destroying, Donati's army is pretty much destroyed. They didn't give him much chance. I think Mitralas' cat was way better here because Bullet somehow was caught in a really bad situation, probably after he tried to storm attack. um, Anyway, I don't think there's going to happen a lot of nice stuff in this game anymore. I just wanted to show you a bit of the fight and a lot of wolves here. Yeah, you can probably imagine that the top team will lose because they had two players with militia, one player who tried to horse rush and failed because of the map restrictions. So it was a pretty one-sided game. And it seems like my game crashed. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Get hand. Whatever. It's the old version anyway, so it's probably not worth it to check this back. But anyway, that's how it looked like. And I wanted to show you one more replay, and that would be the replay from the map that I showed you before, Toxic Waters. Let's take a look at how everyone was building here. The teams here were Shady, Assange, Zoltan, and myself versus Vanosup, Sevq, Bara, and Bullet. It's a shame you can't open this overlay here, which shows you the teams, but anyway, as you can see, maybe we'll try to go through this with X and speed. Shady's location, what can I say about it? It seems pretty standard, everything is pretty close, kinda rebound style I'd even say. I'd say there's really not much effort on this log, and as Shady is one of the better players out here, I imagine that he's going to have a pretty nice army. Speaking of myself and good players, I'm not one of them. I still think my game here wasn't that bad for my standards, but I guess we'll see in a while. As for the location, I think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty open. There's not a lot of stuff for the iron buildings, so you have to make them somewhere here. But there's really a lot of place on the bottom of the log, so it's pretty easy to make a big base here. Let's stop for a while. Anyway, have to see more games. Maybe it is not that bad, but usually good players don't want to play with bad medium players, so they just will be same one good player with another also good player. But what are you referring to? You mean the league, right? But you know, that's exactly the issue here. Good players will never want to team up with bad players in a league if they can only have one team. So if they can have more than one team, it's possible they will team up. More drama. Anyway, let's resume the game. I'm really hoping I don't have a delay, but pretty sure I disabled it. Actually, I could probably check here. Yeah, I have no delay. Anyway, going over to Zoltan's log. It's a bit tricky because of the iron. Like I said before, this location and the one that Sevki was playing remind me the most of these signature Richland locations. And it's a bit harder to get the iron production running, but it's not impossible for sure. And you have the coal separated pretty nicely from the iron, so yeah, it's a bit tricky. So we'll see how they will perform. As for Assange's location, I believe he had a really good game here, and yeah, it's also a bit of an issue with the iron. It seems like there are two locations per team where the iron is a bit further away. Yeah, okay, I was a bit mistaken. So Vanos is playing the second one. So we've got two Russian guys on these Richland style logs, and but you can see that apart from the iron, everything is pretty close and pretty easy, I'd say. I think there's way more difficulty on the Richland locations than here. This leaves us with the power locks. Yeah, the iron is kinda far, but also you know that the idea of these power locks is it balanced? I mean, just like take a look at how far Bullet had to his iron, and then you can see this one was way closer. I don't think this is balanced, unless I'm missing something else here. Because Shady's lock really looks like something pretty interesting to play, and Bullet's lock seems kinda meh because you really have the iron gold pretty far away. Although I guess you can just build towards the top, but it's not going to be better than this, I am afraid. There's no other advantages I can see, so I think this was not the right decision of the author here to, at least you know, just looks like that these two locations are a bit imbalanced. I can't really say about the other ones, as for me it looked like the distances were pretty similar. But there might be one more thing. Let me take a look. Yeah, the stone is also easier here. Kind of. Maybe not that much. I can't really notice what could be better on Bullet's log, so it's probably imbalanced, yeah. Anyway, it's 15 minutes to peace time, so we'll be able to maybe take a look. Let's start with my base. I'd say this is nothing special and it's a bit all over the place, but whatever. Shady's lock, yeah, it looks pretty nice what he and Bullet were doing. And let me see. Somehow Bullet is actually way better with the iron, so it. I mean, Bullet is one of the best players out there, that's for sure. Definitely better than Shady, and it's not Shady's fault. Rather the fact that Bullet is basically one of the best players out there, like top 3 for sure. So maybe I shouldn't be so surprised, but yeah, this seems like a pretty nice performance from Bully. As for the other players, Zolti, not that bad, but lacking horses, that's for sure. The base looks kind of funny with these farms in the middle. Pretty strange setup, I gotta say. Maybe let's take a look at Vano. Yeah, this is really nice. Okay, I have to stop the replay soon before the peace time. Anyway, yeah, there's some horses, there's a lot of leather. It seems pretty nice. Anyway, yeah, the iron is in the worst, especially when you consider the fact that it's not as close to the storehouse as you could wish. Yeah, let's take a look at Zoltan now. No, sorry, maybe Assange, because I wasn't here. Yeah, definitely worse than Van. I thought he had a way better army, but you can see that he's lacking a lot of swords. He doesn't have a lot of horses. So definitely lost this battle against Vano here when it comes to the armies, please. Sevq, whoa, this is really pretty bad. Especially the iron is pretty worrying. Baratheon, yeah, solid base as usual. Good job from this player. No surprises. So yeah, you can probably figure out by now, but that we're gonna have some problems because of the balance here. I honestly don't think the balance was pretty good here. So, but you know that's another issue. Yeah, you can see that's how you play on the power lock. Almost 40 swordmen. 9 of them will be riding the horses, and 47 led. This is pretty nice base from Bullet. And as you can see in Shady's base, it's not way worse actually. You can, I mean, it's okay. Well, like I said, it's hard to compare anyone to Bullet, but I still think Shady did a pretty good job here. The amount of leather could be, you know, something about 45 would be way better. It would look better what he has here. but it's like it's not the worst. Please keep in mind that this was the first time anyone ever played on this map, so the armies will always be a bit lower than expected. Yeah, actually, now I look at my army, it doesn't look half bad, which is pretty surprising. So yeah, we could take a look at what happened after peacetime, although I don't think it will be a very interesting fight, especially that my team lost. So yeah, sorry for spoiling this, but you probably can figure out by seeing how the armies look like. So yeah, let's take a look how the front line looks like before the fight start. Maybe I'll be able to stop this before the main fight. Yeah, this is the right moment probably. So let's take a look and analyze what happens here after peacetime. You have, yeah, exactly like on Richland, you can see that this log, which can't make towers by the way, has a bit of a longer way here and it can attack through this front without much problem, or it can go the long way here. And the three other teammates are supposed to go here to the middle, and the front line should happen here. I think Assange made a bit of a mistake here because he decided for some reason to defend this little patch of land, and he was completely separated from us, so we were not able to help him against Bullet at all. And vice versa. So he couldn't get help. I mean, he couldn't help us either. So this is probably the wrong decision to do. He should probably try to make, I don't know, make some towers here and make barracks on this side and walk out into the middle, stand here. There's a spot for him. And yeah, you can see the main front is like this. There's some possibility to try sneak attacks from here or from there, kind of. I think it could be a bit more open maybe here, but I guess it's up for debate if it's good or bad. We need to play a few more games later on. And that's how the vision looks like, by the way. So yeah, let's take a look at the fight. I think this wasn't a bad catch for us. Although I think they just had way too many troops for this to succeed. Zoltan was a bit out of place along with Bara, but it kind of worked, you know. In the meantime, I think something bad must have happened to Assange's swords here. And now Bullet just goes to the top, so yeah, it seems like we won against Vanosopot here, and we were on our way to kill Sefq. The problem was that Bara and Zoltan were also fighting here, and it did not look too well for... actually, it's not that bad for Zolti, but then Bullet came here attacking, and as you can imagine, with such an army, it was pretty much GG. If not for that, I'd say we'd still have some chance. As you can see, we did pretty well on this front. Yeah, but I guess stuff like this happens. Must admit, I was a bit angry towards Assange, and if he's listening, apologies for you, because we should never get angry in this game. Sometimes it's not possible, but you know, I crossed over the line, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, you can imagine what will happen here, so I will spare you that. And let's take a look at maybe there's some other. Well, there's a lobby here, but they're playing from save and there's no space, so I don't know. Let's try something else. Oh, look, someone's playing the new map, but I could try asking if I can get in here. there's no delay though, and this is a league game. I hope they're not gonna cheat. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll just finish like this. Okay, so yeah, if you guys don't have any other stuff you would like to talk about, I just wanted to do this a bit different way this time. I didn't just show some game. I tried to do some various stuff because we didn't have uh, we didn't have a stream since a quite long time, and I think quite some stuff happened since then. So quick heads up what happens in the community was probably a good idea. I'm really hoping that next time we might try to play on a new beta with some people, try to organize some game. And I think for today that's gonna be it. So yeah, just like always, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Next week, I'm going to make the streams on the 19 o'clock from now on, I think. A bit easier for me to manage the time then. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and see